Personally, I find this extremely useful because a large part of my own job is to write documentation for our software and for the open source software projects that I'm involved in. And in the software industry, we don't always have a very good record of writing good documentation. And this is a chance to meet with people who do this professionally, who write documentation, and to learn from their experiences and their insights. And every time I've been to one of these, I come away with a lot of new ideas which go straight into our own documentation and have helped improve it in very tangible ways. I think often a developer will have different needs. Sometimes they'll want to go to a platform and find a very quick answer to a question, which might not actually be about the software they're working on, but for example about the dashboard of the platform that they need to use. And for things like that, a short article in a developer portal, which in effect is also a user portal in that case, can be quite appropriate. But when the developer is digging deeper into the code and needs to work more closely with the code itself rather than just with the platform, or for example, if the developer is a newcomer to the platform and needs to learn to use it, then something much more structured than a portal is going to be appropriate, I think. So I certainly think they can be used side by side. What we tend to do is refer users from the quick and short answers to very specific questions in the portal, if you like, over to our documentation. One advantage that the platform that we use for the portal has is that it can be tied into other things that we use. For example, the software we use for responding to help desk queries from our users, and we can integrate the two very nicely, whereas our documentation is tied to a software repository, is versioned and so on, and doesn't have the same interaction with the portal and the tools that our help team use. I think the single most important thing is structure, which is something that I've spoken about before. So to structure the documentation so that it covers tutorials for the new users, how-to guides for people trying to achieve particular tasks, reference guides for people who need to look up descriptions of the technical machinery, and then some background information for those who need a deeper understanding and more context of it. So that kind of structure helps separate the different functions of the documentation very well, and also helps the author write clearly in different styles according to different needs. Other than that, especially for a newcomer, I think to have a structured introduction in the form of a tutorial is essential, because you can't just drop a newcomer into the middle of a how-to guide. They need to be led into that point so that they've got enough familiarity with the tools to be able to make use of things like how-to guides. So a tutorial that will cover a full range of the kind of tasks that they will need to use is important. And then if you want a third thing, I would say probably how-to guides, because those are the most sought after things by developers trying to get things done. They want to know the answers to their questions. How do I do X, Y, or Z? And you need to provide them with a set of steps that they can follow to get to that result. And of course, that's never enough. You need more things, but if you're going to start with 3 things, those would be the 3 that I'd suggest.